Hi guys, we're gonna have an intro joke and it's gonna be wonderful and everybody's gonna be excited. I don't wanna do an intro joke. What if people don't like it? Oh my gosh, what if people don't like it? Oh man, then everything will be awful. Oh no, what if they hate us and they're gonna laugh at us and it's gonna be awful? And besides, your jokes are really not even good as anyone else's, and I think theirs are funnier. I already do stupid intro jokes. Why do I have to do intro jokes every freaking time and every single time? It's the same as everyone else's. Play the clip, roll the clip, play the clip. Just roll the clip. Hey guys, welcome to the first installment of the Viewer's Choice Review. If you don't know what that is, wait till the end. And as you can probably expect from the intro, this one is Inside Out. So Inside Out is the latest endeavor by Pixar, and it's kind of a return to form, as opposed to just doing sequels of ones that have already been done. The story is of Riley, an 11-year-old girl who lives in Midwest and loves to play hockey, and moves suddenly for her father's work to San Francisco, and the emotions that have that take place in that. Now, but also the primary story takes place inside Riley's mind, and follows her emotions as she goes through this. The director of Inside Out is Peter Docter, who also directed Up and Monsters, Inc., so he's got a really good track record with Pixar. So there are a lot of really good things about Inside Out. The voice acting is really good, and the casting is inspired for the characters of the emotions. It's got Amy Poehler as joy, Phyllis Smith as sadness, Mindy Kaling as disgust, Bill Hader as fear, and my favorite is, and I think everybody's favorite from the consensus on YouTube, is Lewis Black as anger. They just do a fantastic job of really portraying their emotions and not being one-dimensional in it. They're really full three-dimensional characters. The animation is another point that's really, really good. They have two styles of animation. The real-world animation, that of Riley and her parents. They also have this more animated world, and really colorful, bright pastels, like a Monsters, Inc. or Finding Nemo. And it's really good to mix kind of to see those two being played. One of the best parts of Inside Out is the amount of imagination that went into creating the mind inside Riley and visualizing it, whether it be the subconscious, or whether it be how dreams are done, or the train of thought, or, I mean, the point, it really is endless how much imagination went in to creating this entire world. So I mean, from a technical standpoint, from a casting standpoint, from a performance standpoint, from a story standpoint, it's an all-around really great film. Some of the bad things in Inside Out, and there's not a lot of them, but there are a couple of things. The first is the characters, which are so fleshed out and really well done with joy and sadness, kind of fall flat with the other three: anger, fear, and disgust. Anger probably has the most time as the comic relief. Fear has one kind of moment in the dream sequence, but really, I don't even know why disgust was an emotion. Like, they really didn't do a whole lot. Joy and sadness has such robust character arcs and stories. See that fairly distributed among the rest of the emotions, because we didn't get to see that a lot. The biggest flaw in Inside Out, that I think is inherent in the concept of the story, is that people don't care about Riley. I think there's two reasons for this. The first is that she seems kind of robotic. She's controlled by the emotions to such an extent that it almost seems like she has no agency, and she's like a puppet being controlled by these emotions. Which is a valid point, and I think that they had to make that happen because of just the way that the story is. The second reason, and I think it's a little bit more subtle, is if you look at a story like Titanic, and you look at the main characters. Who's the main character in Titanic? Rose and Jack. Those are the main characters. They're the people that are doing things, that are moving things forward, and the setting for their amazing adventure is the Titanic. See, they don't escape, then they're going to die. Now, with Inside Out, what is the character of Riley? Is she a character, I don't think so. I think primarily Riley is the setting in which most of the story happens. It's less like we're worrying about a kid who's going through this emotional turmoil, and more like we have to get to the headquarters before the ship explodes. And so I think that's one of the primary flaws. I think we can get over this if we look at them as two completely separate stories. So I think what Pixar or the internet should do is just cut together a version of Inside Out which only has Riley's story. And if you do that, I think you would get a really emotional story from a person who has an emotional core and has inner turmoil. I think it is one of the primary flaws of the movie. All told, taking all that together and mushing it together, the good and the bad, I think I would give this 8.75 or 9. I think 8.75. It's great for the family. It's a great movie. There are some issues with the plot. There is that primary flaw of not being invested a lot in the character of Riley. I think it's not a perfect film, but I think it's definitely one of Pixar's best. I would say it's probably in my top 5 Pixar movies. And now for my first impressions. When I first went into this film, I was really excited. Like, I wanted it to be awesome. And I don't know if you know this, I have a philosophy degree. Well, I just did a lot of philosophy in university. And so when I went in there and saw these emotions taking control over her, destroyed the last 1900 years of philosophical thought in one movie. Because there's no reason. Like Plato wanted reason to control the emotions and the passions and all of that, and reason's nowhere. Like, it's just the emotions that are like creating the thoughts that are happening. So it's like you're making a real philosophical statement here, and like, what are you? You're changing the nature of humanity in a kids' movie. That was one first impression. Another thing I thought when I first walked in is Joy cries. Just wait, think about that. Joy cries. So if joy is joy and sadness is sadness, how can Joy cry? Is Joy having a thing inside of her head? Like, is it, like, how many levels does this go? Is this like one of those things where you put a mirror up to a mirror and it goes on for infinity? Like, guys, that's just getting stupid here. But I started thinking about it, and that's why I said I haven't stopped thinking about this movie. I started thinking about it, and I think that how it works is as our own emotions, as we get older, our own emotions kind of grow. As an example, when you're a kid and you're sad, that's the only thing in your life is your sadness, and the world is literally over. As you age, your emotions start to become more nuanced, and you have a different variety of emotions from those basic emotions. So with that, I'm going to give this, for my first impressions, I'm going to give this movie a early childhood education diploma, because it does probably as good as anybody else does for teaching kids about their own emotions. Hi guys, so at the beginning you probably heard me talking about the viewer's choice review. So what that is that every probably once a month maybe, or every once in a while, I'm going to put up a video and have people vote on what one they want to have a spoiler review on. 1 vote for Birdman and 1 vote for Ted 2, and 2 votes for Inside Out. So it was a ton of people that were climbing into getting on this viewer's choice review. But I want to keep doing it, and I think it's a great idea to get people involved, and it's good because I can't do a review of everything. And for those of you who did vote for the other 2, they'll be showing up in a mixed bag review shortly. If you want to check out any of the other stuff that I have going on, you can click in the links below, like it, share it, tell me what you do, tell me what you think, and as always, have a great day.